Hey guys, welcome back to a video response video to talk about the classic Resident Evil games versus the remakes. And this is a video response to Gull Payne, a wonderful guy with a wonderful YouTube channel that I'll be linking in the description below. Make sure you guys check out his channel because he has a lot of great games, a great collection featuring both old and new games, and he does a lot of cool videos making recommendations and asking for community input in a lot of his videos. So this is no different. He did a Halloween series of videos, asking for opinions on which one do you prefer regarding the Resident Evil games, the classics versus the remakes. And he did it on a per game basis. He did separate videos for each one, but I decided to combine all of them. Just do one video with my thoughts and what I think about my recommendation is. So he did a video for Resident Evil 2, so I'm going to start with that one. Obviously, which one did you go with? Personally, I feel like as a recommendation to new players, just because of the availability and ease of play and just updated graphics, I think if you're kind of like a new player, a younger person maybe, I definitely recommend Resident Evil 2, the remake, just because it's more accessible. The graphics are amazing in this game, and I have to hand it to Capcom. I was a little bit scared, them converting Resident Evil 2 using that third person behind the back view. I was a little bit skeptical. I was hoping they would do kind of like the first Resident Evil remake treatment with the updated graphics but still using the fixed camera angles, but they went with the third person action view, and it turned out to be a fantastic game. So Resident Evil 2 remake is a wonderful game. So for new gamers out there, I think this is the way to go just because it's more accessible. However, from a personal point of view, I think the OG, it's where it's at. Obviously, this is not the original PlayStation, but this is the GameCube port, which is fantastic in terms of improved textures and whatnot. But the original Resident Evil 2 just has a really good place in my heart. I'm remembering. Obviously I was a huge fan of the original one, and then when this game was about to come out in 1998, me and my friends, we were so excited. The scope of the game just, the first one was in a mansion, but this game was in the city. Just the scope of the game was so much bigger, larger, and this was a game that we all awaited very impatiently. And when they finally released, it lived up to the expectations. It was just a very involved game with 2 different characters, 4 different scenarios. Leon A, Leon B, Claire A, Claire B. So very long game and a lot of replay value. Obviously, if you want to watch all the endings with the different characters and whatnot. So from a personal opinion or point of view, I'll stick with the original just because it has that nostalgia effect on me, I guess. Sure enough, it has the tank controls, the fixed camera angles, but I was there back in 1998, and I can tell you, this game was just wonderful to play it back in the day. But with that being said, the remake is fantastic. Make sure you don't sleep on this. Even if you're a fan of the original, you have to make yourself a duty to play the remake. And then Gull Payne did a video for the Resident Evil 3 as well, original versus remake, and I'm going to have the same opinion. If you're a new player, in terms of availability, I would definitely recommend going with Resident Evil 3, just because it's easier to get, cheaper, and wonderful graphics. And even though this game got a lot of flack for being very short, and for removing some of the content, and for also making a Nemesis not as threatening as the original one, I still recommend this to new players, just because it's a wonderful remake in my opinion. I know the game is very short, but nowadays you can get this when it's on sale. You can get this for like under $20 here in the US. And it's a wonderful game, and I really enjoyed my time with Resident Evil 3. It does offer replay value, in my opinion. You can get points to unlock new weapons and costumes and art and things like that. So I beat this game recently and had a blast playing Resident Evil 3 Remake. But again, from my personal point of view, I have to go with the original one. A lot of fun memories also. I'm not going to bore you guys with the detail, but me and my friends waited for this game. We got the Asian version of the game that came out a little bit earlier, at least in South America, when I was living back then. So we played this game in like Japanese, but we still loved the game, beat the game, and yeah, it's a very terrifying game featuring my favorite villain of all time, which is Nemesis. This dude is just scary, chasing you throughout the game. And just there's a special feel about this game with the fixed camera angles, with the tank controls. I know those are very outdated, but again, from a personal point of view, the original means so much to me. It takes me back to just playing this game with my friends and just being terrified, of Nemesis. You never knew when he was going to show up, and when he did, it was a terrifying experience trying to take him down. So yeah, you cannot go wrong with either one, but my personal preference remains with the original one. And I know Gull Payne didn't specifically talk about the original Resident Evil, the first one, or at least at the time of recording. I don't think there was a video regarding the original games. But as a bonus content for my video response, I will compare them. I don't have the PlayStation original Resident Evil game, but I do have the DS, which is a port with added features, which is pretty cool. I highly recommend this version for fans of the series. And of course, you have the HD remaster, which is available on every single platform: Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox, Steam, PlayStation 3, as you guys can see here. So yeah. Now I'm gonna switch it around, and my personal preference for the previous two games was I preferred the old ones. But for the first Resident Evil game, I have to stick with the remake. This is, in my opinion, the best remake of all time. I remember getting a GameCube specifically to play this game, and I remember just playing the first time I played the 2002 GameCube remake. I was just floored at how detailed the backgrounds were, the added content with Lisa Trevor, and the game just offers more content, better graphics, and a little bit of better voice acting versus the original one, which we all know it's very cheesy. But this is where I turn the tables around and highly recommend, from a personal point of view and also from an accessibility point of view. You can buy the HD remaster on just about any system. That to me is the way to go for the original Resident Evil. Stick to the HD remaster, but that goes without saying. It's always worth checking out the originals, both Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, just so that you can experience that old school effect if you're curious about it. I don't think you can go wrong by playing the original ones, but for the Resident Evil 1 specifically, I think the remake definitely is the way to go. And I just love how this remake remained true to the original one with the fixed camera angles, with the tank controls, although Capcom did add non-tank controls for those that don't want to use it, which is pretty cool in terms of accessibility for other players. But yeah, my choices are, for the Resident Evil 1, play the remake, the new version. But from a personal point of view, Resident Evil 2 and 3, the original ones, have a very special place in my heart. So those are my go-to games if I had to choose. But overall, you cannot go wrong. Remakes or original ones. I think Capcom did a wonderful job with these games, and this is why I love them. And I know fans around the world also love both the original games and the remakes. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and make sure you check out Gull Payne's channel. Link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later. Take it easy.